Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be playing a solo game of Mass Effect Priority Hagalaz. This is the fourth game in my 5-game campaign, so if you haven't watched the others yet, go ahead and check out those. Maybe start there at episode 1. And just as a reminder, there are multiple paths through this campaign, so while I am playing 5 missions, there are 9 other missions that I'm not seeing in this playthrough. So there is more to this game than just my campaign here. But in today's video, we are doing Garrus's loyalty mission. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I am set up here to play Garrus's loyalty mission. This is the 4th video out of 5 in my playthrough of the Mass Effect Priority Hagalaz campaign. So again, I've got a playlist of all the videos in this series, so make sure you start at the first one. And as usual, this will be spoiler heavy. I'm not holding anything back, so if you want to go in completely blind, I would skip this one. But I've gone ahead and set up some of the map. So there's 3 of these refugee tokens. They represent Turian soldiers who have been captured by Cerberus. And there are specific starting locations for Garrus right here, and for Shepard right here in this mission. And then I have brought Liara and Rex with me. So I'm going to put Rex here and Liara here. And so I've left Tali behind in this mission. And I think that's just as well because this one we were playing against the Reapers finally instead of Cerberus. So I've got the Reaper deck here. And so this map, not being a Cerberus one, has no turrets. So Tali couldn't use those benefits anyway. Obviously, she can do other things and interact with turrets, but there's also no locked doors on this one either. So a couple of the things that she's good at, I just don't need her here. So this would be a good one to leave her out. And just for this series, I'm trying to make sure all the characters get a little bit of screen time. So everybody that can be left out will be left out at least once. So I've got 2 Paragon victories behind me now. So there are 2 Paragon die in the pool. You'll remember from the previous mission we had 1. So when we roll these, then each character takes 3 actions from the white dice, and the blue ones don't count towards those restrictions. So a couple characters can take 4 actions, or 1 character can take 5 actions, which is kind of cool. And at the end of the last mission, I did have a couple of level ups available for me to use, and I applied them both to Shepard. So I got Carnage right here, which required that I had Adrenaline Rush, which I did. So Carnage allows you to place an action die to deal 2 damage to an enemy in Shepard's line of fire, or 4 damage if you use an enhanced action die. And the second one, also applied to Shepard, was Incinerate, which required that you had both Adrenaline Rush and First Aid, which I did. So Incinerate says, after making your strategy roll, deal 2 damage to an enemy within 2 hexes. If it is a minion, it is also stunned. So that'll be helpful, and I think in this mission in particular. So let's first find out what the heck we're doing. I'm going to read this top section here to you. The comms crackle into life as Edie uploads a schematic. Shepard, I'm seeing a concentration of Turian military IDs nearby. They seem to be from units that went missing whilst redeploying to support the defense of Palaven. I'm also detecting some strange energy spikes from the same location that bear similarities to the Prothean beacon from Horizon. Garrus looks at the map and hefts his sniper rifle. 2 Varen with 1 shot. Investigate captured Turian soldiers and check out the beacon. Efficient. I like it. So under additional setup instructions, there's specific starting locations for Garrus and for Shepard, and the elite enemy is an armored brute who is not set up at the start of the mission. And we did have a victory for Through the Breach, so we're about to read story paragraph 79. Thermal clips, grenades, metagel. Nice of Cerberus to leave this lying around, Garrus says as he reloads his rifle from an ammunition crate. After setting up loot tokens, place a random loot token from the supply on each bonus loot hex so that each one contains 2 tokens instead of 1. So we've seen that in every mission so far after the first. And so I've already set those up. There are 2 loot tokens here and 2 loot tokens there. Those are the bonus loot tokens. And then we need to put the minions on the map. So the enemies are husks, cannibals, and marauders. And the additional setup instructions say only husks are initially placed in the minion bag. Once 4 husks have been placed on the map, add the remaining minion tokens for this mission to the bag. So let's grab the husks. So they are level 1 and 2 husks, and we can place them wherever we want. It's just got to be the first 4 enemies that we place. And as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to place them near Shepard, I think. Shockingly, that's where I want them. So here's one husk, 2 husks. Put a third one here. And a 4th one, maybe up here. Now, we add the cannibals and marauders to the bag. And we mix it up and we can cover the rest of the spaces, the rest of the spawn hexes. Okay, so we've got marauder. And those are going to be ranged units, I think. Cannibal. We've got a couple down here. Marauder. Cannibal. And some around this side. Marauder. There still should be 4 more husks in here somewhere. Cannibal. Okay. So yeah, these refugee tokens are the Turian soldiers, and so the additional rules for freeing the Turian soldiers. In this mission, refugee tokens represent Turian soldiers captured by Cerberus. When a squad mate ends a movement action in the same hex as a refugee token, they free the captured Turian soldier and gain some information about the nearby area. Return the refugee token to the game box, then turn any 1 loot token face up. And then we start with this covering fire section. So that says, when a husk that is not adjacent to a squad mate makes a move action, it must end the move action as close as possible to Shepard. Each time an enemy adjacent to Shepard is defeated, check progress box below. So we're going to have to do that 4 times before we can move down to this section. And then once all of the boxes have been checked, read story paragraph 82. So I think that's it. So Shepard starts on point, of course. And I, in play order, put Garrus next. And then, of course, the on-point token will pass this way. So Garrus will go second on the first round. Then he'll go third on round 2, 4th on round 3, and then start the 4th round going first. So going into the 4th round, he's going to go twice in a row. So I hope that will be helpful. I'm really hoping this game does not go as long as the last one, because I just don't have that kind of time. That went ridiculously long. But I think we're good to go now. So let's start the game with round 1, and Shepard is going to roll. So let's roll these 14 strategy dice. And don't forget, I have Incinerate. So after making your strategy roll, specifically Shepard's, deal 2 damage to an enemy within 2 hexes. If it is a minion, it is also stunned. So let's roll. I've got more than 3 stars there, so I flip over 2 of these command tokens and re-roll the stars. No more stars. I think I flipped one of those dice. I don't know what it was. We'll live with it. So now that I've done that, Incinerate says 2 damage to an enemy within 2. And this husk is within 2 and only has 2 health. So that husk gets taken out, and I'm not going to bring the bag into view every time, but they go back in the bag when they're defeated. And now we can mark that was 1 hit for Shepard, and that was each time an enemy adjacent to Shepard is defeated. Oh, so we don't mark one of those. I'll just put that off to the side for later, because that enemy was not adjacent. So I think I'll start by having Shepard move 3. And he ended his move action on a refugee token, so I can pick that up immediately. And I get to flip over 1 loot token of my choice. So I don't know, let's make it this one. All right, this first aid kit. And I'm going to have Shepard move twice. 1, 2, land on both of these loot tokens. Let's see what we get. We've got an intel. That's good. Oh, and another intel. How about that? So one more intel, and that'll be another level up between missions. And Shepard's still got at least one more action left. And when I took that last move action, this is a wall here, so there was not an adjacency here for an opportunity attack with that Marauder. That there's a wall between them. So I'm going to take an enhanced die and place it on shoot. And before I shoot, since I have Adrenaline Rush, I can also move. So I'm going to move one space this way and now shoot this husk. And that does 2 damage because that was an enhanced action. So it takes out the husk. So it's another defeat for Shepard. And that enemy was adjacent to Shepard. So that one can be marked for the covering fire objective. And you know what? I would really like to get this covering fire objective handled quickly. So we're going to use Paragon. Oh, no, can't do that. Can't do that. Well, I can do this. I'll use this on shoot, and with Adrenaline Rush, I can move. So I'm going to move here and then do 1 damage to this cannibal who has 4 health. And then I won't bother marking it. I'm just going to take the other Paragon die, put it on Carnage to do 4 damage, and take out this enemy. So that's enough for Shepard to get a 3rd kill and level up. And that was 2 enemies who were next to Shepard, or adjacent to Shepard when they were defeated. And so for Shepard's level up, I only have 2 options because of what I've done so far. I can do Barrier, which is required to unlock all 3 of these, or I could do Medicine, which requires you have First Aid. So Barrier says after completing a move action, regain a shield point, which is all right. And Medicine, when you use your command ability, the target squad mate also recovers a hit point. And I think I'm going to do Medicine here. Okay. So now we would need to resolve a hazard card, and rather than pass them all out, I'm just going to take them off the top of the deck because I really don't have a place to put them, I don't feel like. Or, tell you what, I'll put them at least in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just take the top 4 off the deck and resolve them in that order. Because sometimes it's important. But so for Shepard, we have activate each Marauder and each elite enemy. Okay, so where are the Marauders? We don't have an elite, so we'll have to spawn, but let's do the Marauders first. There's one here. This one can shoot Rex for 2. Nope, that's Garrus. Here's Rex, 1, 2. This one cannot attack anyone, so they're going to move, and they can move closer to Shepard, so they will. Ooh, this one has line of fire on Shepard, so 2 damage to Shepard. And that's all the Marauders. And then there's no elite enemy on the map, so I need to spawn an enemy, I think. I'm still a little unclear on that rule, if that only applies to, if that applies to elite enemies when you're not allowed to have them on the map yet. I don't know. But here's a cannibal, and I guess we're going to spawn them right there next to Shepard, which I don't really love, but, that's 2 more enemies adjacent to Shepard. If I could take them both out, then I'll have completed that covering fire in the first round, and that would be good. Because then I can just get on with the mission. So let's roll these dice for Garrus. So I rolled 3 stars. Okay. Yeah, and I think I can make this happen. So let's do a move action first. I can move up to 2 spaces. So I'm just going to go 1. Oh no, I won't quite be able to get them both, but it'll be close. And I'd rather take out the cannibal because it does more damage, but I can do more total damage if I take out the Marauder. So I guess I'll do that. So I'm a little too close to the Marauder, Garrus is. So a regular action die on armor piercing rounds does 1 damage plus whatever this track is. So this has 2. So I reset the track. 2 plus 1 is 3 damage to the Marauder. Takes it out. And so that's 1 kill for Garrus, and 1 more enemy that was adjacent to Shepard when we took it down. And now Garrus gets 1 more move. I'm going to put an enhanced die on concussive shot. So the enemy is 1, 2, 3 hexes away, so I can do 3 damage. And that enemy has 4 health. There's 1, 2, 3 damage markers. And that was all of Garrus's actions. So now we take the next hazard card. This one is closing in. Move each enemy token that is not adjacent to a squad mate 1 hex toward the nearest squad mate. Then draw and resolve another hazard card. That's interesting. I don't remember seeing anything like that in the Cerberus deck. So this one will move 1 space closer to Rex. This one is already adjacent to Shepard. This one will just go 1 this way. That's really all it can do. This one 2. This one this one, this one. All right. And now we draw and resolve the next hazard card. Now this one here is reserved for Rex. We're going to draw from the top of the deck. Activate each Marauder and each Cannibal. Oof. Well, that's going to sting a little bit. This Marauder, let's see, can either target Shepard or Rex, whoever has less health. Rex has 4 health, Shepard has 5. So I'm going to target Rex, do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. This Cannibal is going to do 3 damage to Shepard. 1, 2, 3. That hurts. This Cannibal is just going to move 1, 2 spaces to Garrus. This Marauder, can shoot Shepard for 2. 1, 2. Shepard is down. Oh, that's that's obviously bad. That's a loss. Let's finish up with the rest of the damage. This Cannibal attacks Garrus for 3. 1, 2, 3. These are husks, and this Cannibal is going to move here towards Liara. Gosh, so Shepard is down. That is mission failure on the second turn of the game in the first round. So not even 2 of the players didn't even go yet, and Shepard's down. That stinks. So yeah, if I remember correctly, if I had taken out the Marauder instead of the Cannibal, then Shepard would have 1 hit point remaining, I think. I mean, I hate to leave it on that note because it was so quick. And I was in a pretty good position for that covering fire. I mean, I hate to release such a short playthrough where I didn't even use 2 of the characters. But I feel like for authenticity's sake, I should. So I guess that's going to be it for this one. That's a little bit disappointing. I'll probably go back and replay it myself, but another time. But if Shepard is down, the mission fails. Read story paragraph 58. Shepard is down. Edie, find me a route out of here. Liara, get ready with the metagel. Shepard's going to end up with more scars than me. Garrus drags Shepard toward the waiting access shaft, away from the sounds of battle. The mission ends immediately. On the campaign map, continue along the current path and mark the next mission's waypoint box. You have lost the opportunity to unlock Garrus's Calibrate ability. Well, okay then. I thought it was off to a promising start, but I guess not. That turned real fast. So, hey, that's what it is. We got 1 mission left, and I still intend to play it. So the one thing we did get this mission was we unlocked medicine for Shepard, kind of ironically. But we didn't get Garrus's loyalty, and we didn't really get any other upgrades. I was hoping to level up both Garrus and Liara a bit in this mission so that Rex would be able to sit out of the last mission, because Rex has been in every mission so far. So I just wanted to give all the different squad mates enough playtime, but I think I'm going to need Rex because I wasn't able to level up Garrus and Liara like I hoped I would. So I'll have to think about who my squad is going to be in the next mission, and you can find out by tuning in next week. But make sure to leave a comment on this video. Leave some laughter for my ass kicking, and we'll just be thankful that Garrus was able to drag Shepard out of there in time. So we'll find out the conclusion of this campaign next week. I am excited for that. And if you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Otherwise, that's what I've got for this playthrough. I will see you next time on Table for One. Thank you so much for watching.